Okay, so this is a topic much better suited for a long-form video, which I might do. I do have a concept for a series of videos in regards to certain media neurodivergence, but right now, the new remastered episode is fresh in my mind, and I want to talk about it briefly. The aim of a remaster is typically to polish a show and fix some of its prior mistakes, and the Season 1 remaster has done that really well so far, ignoring certain parts of Episode 7. Not everyone is fully pleased with it. I see a lot of corporate comments made about it, but overall, it has been well received. One thing that was talked about a lot before a certain episode released was Evil Paper, whom I will be referring to with the fandom preferred name Looseleaf, and how he would be handled. DID is a very tricky thing to write, which many people have tried and failed to handle with proper care, animationepic included. Many people worried that they would just straight up erase him from the show, or at least water him down, to avoid having to write him and cause any potential controversy. When Looseleaf was brought back, these worries switched to how are they going to handle him? Is he going to say the same? And for a while, he kinda did. The Paper and Looseleaf arc progressed similarly to how it did in the original season. Things didn't change all that much until the very end, and it was a very welcomed change. The first obvious change had been more focused on OJ, mostly because so many people portrayed OJ as ableist towards Looseleaf because there had to be a reason Looseleaf hated him, right? And they made it a lot clearer that OJ understood, or was trying her best to understand, Paper's situation and help him through his current psychological issues. Obviously, it gave me this feeling that, oh, they might actually make up for what they did with Paper and Looseleaf in Season 1, but I didn't expect it to turn out as well as it did. Let me just play the clip for you.
Huh? Where am I? Ah! What was that?
Look what you did! You let us die!
It's not my fault! I tried to protect us! Us?
And clearly you're not up to the task. I tried to shoulder the burden of all your pain so you could be at peace, but all it's done is make you weak!
You've been holding on to a lot of hurt, haven't you?
No? Well, I can handle it. I'm strong enough for the both of us. Get back! You think you can take me down? Stop right there! I'm warning you, What's this for?
Thanks for taking care of us. I'm sorry I ever demonized you. We can work together. I thought I needed to be rid of you, but really, letting you in was the key.
You want a key? How about 88 of them?
Now, I'm not plural, and I'm not exactly a fan of Paper either, but this scene made me genuinely emotional. I was not prepared for them to deal with this so quickly and yet so well. It all felt just so genuine. It felt like Animation Epic really understood what they were trying to represent. Looseleaf, despite his canon name, is not evil. His actions aren't good by any means, but his intentions are. Alters form with their own purpose, and Looseleaf's purpose was to protect Paper. That makes him a persecutor, I believe? Taking control of their body when he's in a distressing situation. He didn't go about it very well, but his aggression does make sense. He's holding onto Paper's negative emotions, and he also serves as a means to keep him safe in times of danger. Him acting the way he does is reasonable, and Paper clearly understands this. He approaches Looseleaf with care and understanding, embracing him in both a literal sense and in a sense that he accepts that Looseleaf is a part of him who's trying to keep him safe and struggling. The twist on the keyline is very sweet. Seeing the thing that tore them apart in the original scene being used as a tool to bring them together here is really touching. I'm not sure Looseleaf went dormant in this universe like he did in the main one, but I like to think he's still kicking in that brain of theirs, helping Paper out when he can. Just a little less violently now. This episode really changed my perspective on Looseleaf as a character. I used to be confused with how people would write Paper and Looseleaf's dynamic, having Paper snap at people for making comments about Looseleaf, when Paper was the one person who actively wanted to get rid of him, and probably disliked him the most. And he had the right to. Lucy did some really bad shit, but now I get it. Having Paper accept and defend Looseleaf, which he does do when he comes to, a really good scene that makes it absolutely clear what the writers think of how this ordeal originally went down, feels really great. It's important to show people understanding and loving their alters for who they are, rather than despising them and refusing to understand them and their purpose. I still don't understand why they would always drag OJ's name in the mud for this, considering he was always trying to help, but whatever. I'm honestly impressed at how well AE handled this. They've made it very clear that they've grown, they've learned, and they want to represent a disorder they had previously misrepresented correctly. They've done this really well, and I have never said that or heard anyone else say that about any sort of plurality rep, which is not a good thing. Let's get our shit together, people. I don't even know what to say about this. It's just really neat to see good system rep, and to see people actually learn and grow from past writing mistakes. Big props to Adam, Brian, and all the rest of the Inanimate Insanity writing team. Now that I've sung my praises for their DID rep, let me move on to sing my praises about something really only I care about. I'm going to make this really quick, or as quick as I can make it, because this specific topic I won't shut up about isn't as relevant to Season 1 as it is to Season 2, but I am so happy about how Apple is written in the remaster. People who know me personally are probably aware of how terrified I was of how Apple would be handled in the remaster once she finally made her debut. Now, the remaster had toned down a lot of things from the original Season 1, and it was mostly a good thing, but I was really worried that they would tone down Apple's behavior. Apple was kind of a dick in Season 1. She was immature, she tested people's patience, she could be really mean at times, blah blah blah. I've said all this in my dependency video. She was pretty much the opposite of who she would become later on. A lot of Apple's traits could make her unlikable and annoying to people, which made me worry that they would write her more like they do now, which would be very bad. But unfortunately, something lots of people would do. But Animation Epic didn't! I cannot begin to describe the relief I felt when Apple got to suck really hard in the Snowdown, and that relief carried on to Inanimate Smackdown. There's a lot of characters where it would be very important to not change or tone down their behavior in a remaster, and Apple is one of them. If Animation Epic chose to write her in the same silly, slightly innocent, and super friendly way they write her now, it would completely ruin the development of her character. Just like with Paper, Apple's change in behavior stems from being isolated on Idiotic Island. Erasing her more annoying traits from her Season 1 self would effectively be erasing her trauma. And that's not good! So I am eternally grateful that Animation Epic let Apple be annoying, sometimes even more so than in the original. All of this is very important. It's as MePhone4S said.
Representation matters!
That's pretty much all I have to say about this topic right now. I really would want to go in depth about Inanimate Insanity and the usually accidental yet phenomenal neurodivergence representation, but don't expect anything to come out soon. If anyone who writes for the show is watching this, doubtful, thank you so much for handling dissociative icon Paper and dependent queen Apple as well as you do. The plural and PD communities love you. Thanks for listening to me ramble, folks.